sitting here with my friend Ken. Ken's a member of Dream Driven Day. He's done some other goodies with us too. And we're just having a little chat. And I said, hey, how about if we record this, make it a podcast episode to bless a lot of people? So, Ken, who are you and how did you find out about us?
Yeah, my name's Ken. And well, about a year ago, I was, I do a lot of different spiritual work and reading a lot of information, a lot of different teachers. And a fellow shared a book list that he had, and I saw Neville Goddard on the list, and there was a title of something there, and it sounded interesting. So I pulled it up and I started reading it, and the information really felt good. It sounded true. So I went into my wife's room and I said, do you know Neville Goddard? And she says, oh, yeah. She said, I love Neville Goddard. And she downloaded a bunch of stuff on her computer. And so away we went. We're into Neville Goddard land. And at that time, I felt that I really had the feeling that I was becoming a collector. I had all this information and the information felt great, but there was no changes happening in my life.
Right.
And at that point, I actually asked a question. A question came. It's like, okay, this stuff all sounds really good, but how do I get this into my life? How to actually make a change in my life? And after I asked that question, of course, you keep researching, looking for Neville, more information. and I came across 2020. And I saw this page and it looked kind of, fonts were different sizes, my initial judgment was, yeah, what is this, right?
Right.
But I started reading it, and then I saw a link to some courses. And then I clicked on the Manifesting Mastery course, and it was 90 days and, 10, 15 minutes a day and step by step. And so there was the answer to my question, really, like, how do I apply this to my life?
Nice.
So we jumped in. My wife and I jumped in, and 90 days later, we were treating each other better. Things were shifting. And yeah, that happened. And then we finished Manifesting Mastery, and we felt again that there was a coasting that was happening. Like some things had shifted, but it just felt we were neutral again. Like things weren't continuing to improve, so to speak. So then about the timing just linked up with Dream Driven Day. So I decided to join, and then we're on day, I think, 26 now, Dream Driven Day, and that's my story up till right now.
I love when you mentioned, when we were talking one-on-one right before this call, you were talking about connections being made and connections happening.
Right.
And what you're noticing in you and in the group. Can you tell me more about that? Because I really, that gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, okay. So like I said, from Manifesting Mastery, my wife and our connection has improved. And it improved with other people as well. But then Dream Driven Day creates a community. There's a Facebook group that's created, and that's been a real game changer for me to share in that group and also watch other people take the journey together.
Yes.
I called T this morning because I just wanted to share how grateful I was and how much change is happening for me, and seeing people in the group, and some of them are doing Dream Driven Day for not the first time, like for the second or third time.
And the 12th.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't have all that history yet. But just watching them, that there's a group of us that participate a lot in it and watch each other and share where we're at, and there's this group of us that just feels like we're getting it, and
yeah,
and there's a lesson today about fog lifting, and it really feels like there's this fog lifting off my life, and all of a sudden I'm seeing behind it. And so it's not just connecting with the people in the group. Now
Yes.
I connect with other people outside now. It's really hard to describe. Like I know some people, we try to express it in the group, and it's just like there's no real words. It's just this feeling of coming into life. Like see, I'm even having trouble describing it now.
I love that you're having trouble describing it. For me, it was like I spent most of my life disconnected. I had a
Yeah,
lot of great concepts, a lot of great ideas. People like being around me. I was pleasant, but it was like there were connections that needed to be made in relationships, in my inner world, in everything, and finding the real, genuine connections, having the real immersive experience took me out of being so lost in data land and
right,
doing land that I actually noticed, like, it's going to sound silly, but it's like I became a human. I became the divine in me revealed the human in me, and I really got to connect and enjoy and immerse myself in life.
right. That's a really good way to describe it. Uh, it, it it's like even this morning when I got up and I wake up. You wake up in this personality or this character, and I see that, and I just walk through it. I walk through it. I walk through it, and all of a sudden today I talked about the fog lifting metaphor that's in the current lesson, but that's
Yes,
what it felt like. It felt all of a sudden everything. I just relaxed. I just totally just relaxed, and I was just going through my physical tasks, and there was no time pressure. There was no do it this way pressure. It was just calm.
it's
And
beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful.
yeah, it's weird too, because I've had this kind of happening throughout the course, and I actually have to make sure I stay on my schedule because I just let all that go, and then all of a sudden I kind of slow down a little bit. And so it's a balance. It's a balance act, but be human. I'm actually starting to feel things,
Beauty.
and it's weird. It's like sadness, love, different things, and even now it's like I don't want to label them. I want to be there with them.
Yes.
And
We seek safety in concepts and labeling and connecting. And until we start to have the experiences that just invite us to be there, to drop the pressure. I notice the work gets done. The pressure is an option, but actually being able to lovingly be yourself or lovingly be with someone, uh, to be present, really present, not thinking you're present. I love where you're playing, Ken.
well, okay, that's interesting too, because I'm revealing some of the work we do. But yesterday was the idea of listening and noticing how fast you talk and how fast other people talk, and understanding the conversation that goes on in my head and the stories I tell myself. And as I identify those and gradually see they don't serve me anymore and stop them, I also come into a state of being able to watch other people's conversations.
Beauty.
And then they don't affect me. Then I become, like T said, being connected in a listening state.
Yes. You're
And
actually connected with them, but not having to be connected to their drama or their story.
right, yeah. And so, yeah, exactly.
Lovely, Ken. Lovely.
It's,
Who would you recommend sign up for Manifesting Mastery, Triple D, the immersive events that we do.
Well, I think for someone I think maybe feels new to this, so to speak, I would recommend Manifesting Mastery first to go through that, and then Dream Driven Day. If you sincerely desire a change in your life and you're ready, it's like, I know there's times I felt, I kind of done, like, with life, like, like, what's the point? I mean, not to the point of, but I think if you really feel like that and you're ready to dive in, I mean, you could just go right to Dream Driven Day, but it's gonna, and I would recommend go all in. Like, if you're gonna go all in, because what I identified the other day was, we're talking about the fog. There's an exercise we do that we're asked to do in Dream Driven Day. It's like, you see somebody online and you just say, you got 2 minutes, and you just,
Yes.
you connect and you have a little chat, right? Well, why is that so hard? well, try it. Like, after you do that, what comes up? Like, what comes up? And I was talking to someone the other day, and I said, it's not about the call. It's about the journey to get to the call.
To make the call. And this whole got 2 minutes thing, you're nailing it, because not only does it foster fellowship, but it brings up what gets in the way of real connecting, really
Right.
connecting. And I love that you noticed it. And I love that this call came from you reaching out to me at my 6 a.m. saying, hey, you got 2 minutes? I'm like, yeah. Cool. We'll do it in the dark. It'll be fun. And then suddenly it's like, oh my God, can we record this? How cool is this?
Yeah. Well, it is. It's like, what if you take the step and you go through it. I mean, sometimes it feels like you're jumping off a cliff. If you take that step and you get through it, you start to discover what real connecting feels like. And then you want more of it.
Yes.
And then the next call or the next conversation, the same stuff will come up again, but you see it and you walk through it because you're starting to experience what the benefits are. And it's not even benefits. It's just, you start to realize this is how I'm meant to live.
Yes. The barriers that we put in the way of connecting with another human being are the barriers that we put in the way of everything in life.
Yeah.
And once we start flirting our way through those, which is just a little bonus part of the course in a way, but it's also core to it all. But we start to really become alive. I've never been more alive in my life. And I really blame it on doing this stuff.
Yeah, I can feel that.
Wow. I really want to thank you for taking the time to share this with us, Ken. And I'll get it up in a podcast probably in the next couple days. I got a busy couple days coming up, but I might be able to get to it tomorrow.
Sure.
And I just want to let you know how much I remember the first time we did our one-on-one. Yeah, quick little got 2 minutes. And I just want to let you know how much I appreciate your play, your stretching, your sharing, and taking the time to just share with those who will be listening to this, because it means a lot to me. I just want everyone who's hungry to be fed. And I just want to thank you, and your sweetheart too, like, for diving in and being doers, because it's one thing to just spend the money. It's one thing to just read an article. It's another thing to choose to dive in and go, you know what, I'm going to stretch beyond who I was so I can discover who else I can become.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, and I called you today to say thank you for your journey and sharing it with everyone the way that you have. And I know from talking to some other people and their history, just how real you feel and how you're willing to share that, and that challenges all of us to be who we are. So,
Yes.
and yeah,
Anytime you stretch, you invite those around you to. Anytime I stretch, it invites everyone that listens to me to stretch. And it really is about stretching and exploring and soaring to me. And it's a pleasure. God darn it, Ken. It's a pleasure to share this with you.
yes, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, T.
Oh, pleasure.
Bye.
See ya.